Now, Justice Scalia, for his whole tenure, has been really proud of his ideology. If there's one thing you got to know about Antonin Scalia, he is consistent. Now, some people might say he's an ideologue, but boy, does he stick to principle, except when he doesn't. So now, I've been calling him a fraud for some time now on the issue of this health care bill that's in front of the Supreme Court that they're about to decide any day now. Well, Scalia was very clear on the record. In a 2005 case, he had the decision where he said, well, the Commerce Clause is large enough that it could reach into a local farmer who might grow marijuana in his state, saying that even if it's legal in his state, the Commerce Clause allows the federal Congress to make it illegal. Very clear. Now, on the issue of the health care mandate, well then, according to that, as all legal experts say, well then Scalia should be in favor of the Commerce Clause being read broadly enough to say that it can give you the health care mandate in each state, even if a state is opposed to it. It's very clear. In fact, even Scalia knows that it's clear. But here comes the fun part. He just wrote a book, and in this book, he admits, principle. What do you need principles for? Ideology. What name so? He says, on the issue of his hypocrisy here, he knows that there are some, and fears, meaning some of the contradictions in his record, and fears that there may be many opinions that he has joined or written over the past 30 years that contradict what is written here, meaning in his book. It's according to the New York Times. So there's Scalia himself saying, yeah, over the last 30 years I changed my position all the time, and there's things in this book that I've written like the fact that I now all of a sudden hate the Commerce Clause. Oh really? Are you going to vote to make pot legal then in those states and not allow the federal government to mess with it? No, that case is already decided. No, precedent. No, I wouldn't disturb that. Scalia is a fraud. All he cares about is what's my politics. What are the Koch brothers, who he attends their meetings, by the way? What do they want me to do? What does Rush Limbaugh want me to do? Oh, Rush Limbaugh made a broccoli joke. I'm going to repeat that joke on the Supreme Court. He did it during oral arguments, during the health care mandate. Use a line right out of Rush Limbaugh. Sad, pathetic. And this is the guy that the conservatives look up to as the one really intelligent, principled conservative. Even in his own book, he's admitting, yeah, over the last 30 years, I said that, but I meant this. Who cares, right? Now, he says, no, there's, of course, other reasons why I might have changed my position frequently. One is precedent. I might not have agreed with a certain proposal, but what could I do? Oh, they twisted my arm. It's precedent. I can't overturn that. Now, as Adam Winkler from UCLA School of Law points out, this is typical Scalia, he says. He respects precedent when it helps his political beliefs, and when it doesn't help his politics, he says, oh, precedent. No, we're way past that precedent now. Third time, fourth time, what a fraud this guy is. His whole career is a fraud. Same thing on, Tim Joss, professor of law at Washington Lee University, saying same thing on the Commerce Clause. When he wants to get to a certain political conclusion that he hates pot and doesn't want it to be legal, all of a sudden loves the Commerce Clause. When he gets to the health care mandate and he hates President Obama and wants to kill his health care reform, all of a sudden, no, Commerce Clause is no good at all. All the time that he was in favor of state rights so you can discriminate against black people, state rights, 10th Amendment, yes, states' rights. When Florida said we'd like to recount the vote to make sure we got it right in Gore versus Bush, he says, state rights? You don't have any state rights. No, that's a federal issue. No, you get out of here. You stop counting. Bush wins. My guy wins. Ha, ha, ha. By the way, after the Supreme Court gave the election to George Bush, they did eventually recount the entire state of Florida in every way imaginable. Under Chads, over Chads, no Chads, etc. In every single recount of the entire state of Florida, Al Gore won. But he's not the president of the United States, never was, because Scalia is a fraud who didn't give a damn about states' rights or precedent or the Commerce Clause. All he cared about was, how do I get to my political objective? Because he's not really a Supreme Court justice, he's a political hack in a robe. In his book, he says sometimes it was because of precedent, and other times I've changed my mind, quote, because wisdom has come late. Oh, well, isn't that convenient? That's awesome. Oh, yeah, when I was ruling against pot, well, boy, that was just youthful indiscretion in my 60s. But now wisdom has come late, and I realize, a Commerce Clause is BS. Now I get to vote against Democrats again. What a wild coincidence. And then finally, Scalia writes that he does not swear that the opinions that he joins or writes in the future will comply with what is written here in this book. In other words, I reserve the right to change my opinions again for whatever political hatchet job I'd like. But either way, he's not alone. George Will, another guy who claims to be a big principled conservative commentator on ABC for decades now, against judicial activism his entire career. Oh, the liberal judicial activism. Now that we've got conservative judicial activism, just wrote a column saying it's awesome. Yeah, I underestimated how great judicial activism is. It turns out when conservatives do it, it's terrific. Do you understand? These guys have no principles, nothing. All they care about is how do I get to my political goal and trick enough people to pretend that I am an intelligent person with ideology and principles backing it, when all in fact I care about is how do I get the Republicans to win? How do I get the Republicans to win? Rush Limbaugh, what do you want me to do? Koch brothers, what do you want me to do? I'll do it. Hacks of the world.